So let's talk. Let's talk Host Plus Cup.
Okay.
Let's talk Host Plus Cup, and we're going to talk about the Central Queensland Capras.
Okay.
So on the weekend, there was as you know, a knockout semi-final between the Central Queensland Capras, and they played against the Northern Pride. They were down by more than 20 points at the halftime break. They come back, won the game.
Yep.
So for a test today, I'm going to pull out in my random number generator.
Yeah.
A period.
Got that again.
I've got that. It's back, baby. It's made a semi-finals appearance. It's made a semi-finals appearance.
Yeah.
Gets an extra match payment now. I'm going to do 2 minutes from the first half, 2 minutes from the second half. And I just want you to have a look at the Capras to see what changed, whether it be anything on the field that you pick up. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, so I guess depending on the minutes will depend on what happened, because it was basically a game of two halves, wasn't it? So
absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see what we come up with, see if there's any clues.
So I'm doing my random number generator now. My minimum is 1 and my maximum is 40 because we want to get 2 minutes in the first half.
Yeah.
Generate. It's come up. Oh, wow. Number 5.
5. Okay. All right.
Number 5.
I feel it's pertinent at this moment to share the screen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Please do share the screen, Lee. Very good. So let's go 5 minutes in, please. We can see the handstand.
I'm at 4 minutes 28. I'm just muting the tape.
Yes,
Taylor. 4 minutes 28 is a scrum. It might be a good point to start for the purpose of the viewers. They're in the maroon, aren't they? The Capras.
They are. The maroon is the Capras, and the white here is the Northern Pride.
You know, their kits traditionally have reminded me of St. Greg's, actually.
It actually, they're a bit more maroon, aren't they?
But in the past, they've been light blue and a bit of maroon, haven't they?
That's true.
So this is their attack. Hating that shape there. They don't even look interested. They're all ball watching. Look at them. Collision from the opposition was pretty good. Always the run poor. You know, they don't look like they're really hitting the ball at pace and running to bust at the minute. They're just sort of running within themselves a little bit. They're getting dominated in the ruck. There was a few plays went down the middle there, and they're just going down the middle here, aren't they? Like they're not really asking that many questions. I mean, they're in the good ball area, so they're in the opposition half, and I would have expected to throw a little bit more. Look at that, just 4 or 5 hit-ups.
Yeah, it's his second hit
in
up
the opposition half. Yeah, bit too easy to defend here, I'd say. But I would imagine that if they've had a bad first half, a lot of it will be down to their defence. Now, obviously, there was a knock-on in there as well. I mean, they've not really had composure when they did shift the ball there too.
Yeah.
He's given a penalty for something. Let's have a look.
Let's see what they throw now.
And very readable again. That decoy run there, I'm just going to go back to that. What's this decoy run, Taylor? Number 8. I mean, he didn't sell anything. Look at that. That wasn't bad. Stretch the defence. I guess right now I'm just seeing an attack that just looks a bit pedestrian, a bit slow, although that pass was nice there. I also think their opposition are defending. The Pride are defending quite resolutely and hard and really focused on their D. So what you've got to consider is that the Pride might have dropped off in the second half somewhat as well. Oh, look, I'm finding this attack really pedestrian, really readable. They don't look clear on what their roles are at times. They seem to want to take an extra play just in case. Probably not great organisation from the halves at times. So before I go any further and have a look at the defence, I just thought it was very pedestrian, Taylor. Very easy to read. Didn't play outside either of the tram lines very much. There was times they seemed to be looking at each other and seeing like what comes next, you know. So not too impressed there. Sorry, go on.
So without looking at the second half just yet, knowing what happened in the game and the score that resoluted, it almost feels like they were a little bit hesitant there to pull the trigger. As you said, maybe taking one more, maybe with a little bit of pressure in the second half. They knew they needed to score points. They let it flow, and it may have come a bit easier for them.
I guess if you're down at halftime though as well, you've got to look at a couple of things. You've got to look at completion rate. How often were they coughing the ball up early in that account? How many penalties were they giving away? And the other thing is, how were they defending. So I reckon we have a look at a set of defence, Taylor, to see if we can find any clues. Well, straight away, first ruck, they're not back, they're not set. Look at the state of this line. That's not a unified defence. This player here still got his back to the play. Look at that footwork there in defence. Look at this. Watch this. Big number 10. Did you see how wide his feet were? Yeah. His feet were so wide and he got stepped. And so, yeah, they just look really heavy-legged here to me. Now, there's nothing they could have done about that at half-time. So, we've got a replay here. That's the problem when you look at a broadcast rather than but look at the end of that set, though. Poor kick. That contributes to the half-time score. I'm not happy with this defensive line, Taylor. There's nothing too much wrong with that collision, but there's our shopping trolley man there. The viewers have been missing the shopping trolley. That's a better line, to be fair, but it's a bit pedestrian, a bit slow. Collisions, again, from number 10, a little bit poor, jumping off him like he's on fire, not getting square at marker. So, look, I don't think we've come up with any major revelations there, but I do think that there's a few signs. You can tell which team seems to be under control. So do you want to give me a minute for the second half?
I will. Let's have a look at this comparatively.
You can still go 1 to 40 again, and I'll just go on the next.
No, I've already edited it, Lee. I'm already there. I'm already there. We've gone 40 to 80, and it's come up with the 62nd minute.
62nd minute.
Smack bang in the middle of the second half.
Lovely jubbly. Knowing you, it'll be a drinks break or something.
Drinks break. Grow up. Oh, we're getting close.
Well, it's just a try. We've just had a try. So.
We've just missed a try. Well, do you want to go back? Do you want to have a look at?
No. I think we need to.
Okay. Here's the kickoff. Perfect.
The viewers need to know that it's genuine. And okay, kickoff. Okay, you ready?
Okay, let's do it.
Well, first of all, where's the halfway line? Seems to have disappeared. Maybe that was the problem.
Rockhampton, bit dusty, mate.
Okay.
I like this player, Mackenzie Yee.
Yeah, well, he put the burners on just as he got to the line. And you see the difference now. I just want to pause it there. When we looked at that kind of run in the first half, the Capras ran a little less with purpose. The Pride defended more with purpose and clung on. There, they were getting flung off the Pride. So there's a first thing that you look at. It's that when your tails are up when you're playing, that can make a huge difference. Slowest play the ball in history, though. Yeah, look, they're definitely running to bust a bit more here, aren't they? His shirt don't fit him. Yeah, look. I say they're running to bust, but look, he's just been put on his chimney of ass. But look, there's obviously a bit of ill discipline creeping into the Capras now too. They're defending, not the Capras, the Pride. They're defending a little bit more in terms of trying to play catch up, and the Capras are down the other end of the field. A bit of footwork from number 4 there. Who's that?
Get up and play the ball. It's Curtis Denzi smaller, mate.
The first 2 things I've seen there in this set, have you noticed the backs got involved?
Yes.
So there's a bit of variety. They went to a scrub line. Now they're doing a bit of a shift, although essentially they went back to the middle. But I'm just seeing a bit of a difference in the way they're carrying the ball, in the sense that they're making more of an impact. And there's my player who I was ripping about his defence earlier, getting on the score sheet. The big difference I see there, Taylor Brown, is sometimes the game literally comes down to the players that run the hardest and tackle the hardest. And I hope that doesn't disappoint viewers too much who are looking for a technical X's and O's. I do think the Capras didn't throw enough at their opposition. They were a bit too easy to read. But if you are easy to read, it then comes down to who wants it the most in that collision. And I think the big difference I saw in the second half was they looked looser in the legs, they looked fresher, they were running harder. And I reckon it was something close to a 5%, 6% difference. And, 6% is 6 1%ers. So I'm sorry it's not the most technical read there on everything, but I think ultimately sometimes finals football comes down to that. Who holds the ball more? Who doesn't give away the penalties? Who runs the hardest? Who tackles the hardest? So yeah, that's basically what I'm putting it down to, mate.
Yeah, well, it is finals football. We don't do a best past the post system here in the NRL, and in rugby league, we do the best on the day in the semi-finals, and it looks like the Capras in the second half were just the best on the day.
Totally agree. And you've got to play a game of football for two halves.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Lee. Again, from rugbyleaguecoach.com.au. If you do want to get in contact with him, any help, you're looking at next season, you're looking at the end of this season, it's business time. Don't leave it to chance. Contact Lee if you have any questions or anything you want to sort out.
Thank you, Taylor.
Thanks, mate. Well, I'll see you next week on Queensland League Scene.